Hey YouTube, this is Mylixia with another video from Mylixia TV. This video is about procrastination, a follow-up on our video from the bit about laziness yesterday. That went so well on the live stream and on some of the comments I got that I decided to do a follow-up video because I also wanted to include some other points about procrastination. I think it's a subject that is really close to all of us as gamers, and I want to talk about what to do about it and how to understand it. The first thing about procrastination to realize is that you're not a naturally lazy person. There's no such thing. The reason why you procrastinate is because you live in a world that your mind doesn't understand. It makes no sense to it. 10,000 years ago, even 1,000 years ago, we never had to concern ourselves with writing essays or going to work or working a 9 to 5. All the time we just did what we could to survive. We got food, we basically, our focus was on relationships, was on community, was on growing food, was on natural things that we had to do to survive. We never had to use our minds in the way that we use them today. So the first thing to realize about procrastination is that your mind's not set up to do the work that you're supposed to do today. All of the expectations and the weight that is on you is weight that has never been there before. You're struggling to try to do things with a primitive mind because we've never had the chance to evolve. We've never had the time to evolve, which takes tens of thousands of years for humans to do, into all this stuff that's new and different in the computer age. So I remember my own story with procrastination. It just feels like I was completely focused on trying to beat it the last couple of years, and I could just never get past it. I would just procrastinate on everything that I had to do. And I realized that the problem with procrastination really is a problem with 3 key points. The first thing you need is that you have to be aware of your procrastination. You have to be aware of when you're doing something that isn't along the lines of what you're meant to do. If your objective is to write an essay, for example, but you're playing video games or you're watching TV or something, the first step is to be conscious of that. The first step is to say, get out of your head, because usually you're unconscious. Usually you're just sitting there watching TV or doing something else, but you're not really thinking about it. The first step is you have to actually sit back and think about what you're doing. You have to say, oh, I'm aware I'm watching TV and I need to do something about it. That's number one, is you have to be aware, and you have to work on yourself day by day and start to mentally catch yourself when you're in this mode where you're just unconscious and not thinking about it. Awareness is number one. The second one is you have to just care about what you're doing. And if you don't have a reason, you have to create one. That's one of the biggest problems of where people get very stuck is they just don't care about what they're doing. They're trying to force their mind to do something that they don't care about. And the truth is that your mind is concerned with survival, concerned with relationships, concerned with things that are important to your needs as a human being. It doesn't care about writing an essay, it doesn't care about completing a school project, and you can't convince it to. You can't make it do that. The only way that you can do it is you have to justify it in your own mind, which is why in the previous video I talked about writing down a physical reason, an outcome for what you want as a result of what you're doing. You have to be passionate about it, but what I mean by that is you have to place an importance on it. So if I don't complete this essay, I might lose reputation, I might lose my chance at school and my chance at my future. If I don't do this job that is intended for me to do, I might lose my job, I might lose my money, and then I can't do the things I want to do. You have to write down those reasons to yourself when you begin the day. And if you don't, you won't have a reason to do it, and your mind won't think of it as what I call a sense of urgency. And what I mean by a sense of urgency is you need to get in that mindset that if you don't do this, there will be some kind of critical problem as a result of it. You will be in more trouble, you will have more problems in your life, it would be easier to do. And then finally, so it's awareness and passion, those are the first two. The third one is small steps. You have to, that's something we talked about in the previous video, but it's especially true. You have to break down, once you have a reason and once you're aware of what you're doing, you have to break it down into these tiny micro steps at the beginning of the day. Again, it can't be something that is this just huge overarching project. An entire essay or entire thesis is too much to worry about. There's too much to do and too much to worry about. You have to break it down into small accomplishable goals that take you no more than 5 to 15 minutes to complete every single day. And once you actualize a reason behind it, you'll realize that, you know, there's a reason why you're doing that school assignment at the last second, but you can't do it any other time. It's because, one, you're not prioritizing correctly, and two, you just don't care about it enough. The biggest problems in the world are ones we can't fix immediately. Overpopulation and ecosystem problems are issues because we can't address them right away. We can only address things as human beings that have a sense of urgency. We can only address them as human beings as things that are happening right now. Big disasters and big things. We can't think of things on these little platforms unless we consciously train ourselves to do it, which most people don't. So go back in your head. Don't get caught up in this loop where you say that you're naturally a lazy person. What that does is that already defeats you. You're not a naturally lazy person. You're just not meant to be in this world. None of us are. We're meant to be in a primeval world, and we're living in this technological world, which is completely different from what our brains are used to. So try to realize that you're not a lazy person and that these things are accomplishable. You can make these things happen if you follow these 3 steps, which were: become aware of when you're not doing your work, become passionate and create a reason for yourself to do your work, and then create small steps to accomplish your goal. So that's about it for this video. I hope that this has been very helpful to you. I feel like this has been a much stronger video in terms of procrastination. It's something that I've personally identified with a long time and worked on. And I just think that in terms of, I always remember, you know, I have a couple of businesses that I do on the side other than this YouTube thing, and it's so hard for me to work for them because I can't create compelling, passionate reasons behind why I do them. And for this stream, I work 24/7 because I'm so passionate about doing it. So you have to find something you love to do. That's why people tell you to do things that you love. Because if you do, you won't need to create all these artificial reasons for why you need to do it. But in the meantime, you can use these steps to complete things you have to do that you may not necessarily want to do. I hope that's been helpful. Very best wishes. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.